And I always never know about the delay, but it says we're going on live, and then it says we're live. So here we are
Woo!
live. As always, I'm the Crap Gamer, and I have two very compelling people with me. The always compelling WorryWart and Kinsey Burke.
Hello.
Kinsey Burke.
That's
Yeah,
me.
and if you guys follow her on Twitter and stuff, she has this really cute new picture up where she looks like an Ewok.
Well, no, you know what? I call that one boobs and beer.
Oh,
And Ewok.
an
Right.
Ewok. Yeah, she looks like an Ewok.
Because it's
Uh,
a really tight top, and you're holding two beers, so boobs and
yeah.
They're
beer.
not that type. They're just big.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Well,
ahead, crap.
the funny thing is about that picture. I told her, I was like, hey, that's a cool avatar picture, and she said something like, I said she looked like an Ewok, and she says, yeah, beer drinking, video game playing, awesome Ewok, and I said, yeah. Now, if the Ewoks were more like that, I would have been more into Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? Because I thought they were kind of lame in Jedi. I mean, they were okay, but
Yeah, I guess back in the day they were cool, but when you look at them now, it's kind of like, ugh.
yeah, I mean, they're not great, but I mean, I don't hate them or anything, but I just don't think that they were awesome. You know.
Whatever. Whatever, you guys.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about quite a few things today, so stick around. We're going to go over our most anticipated games of 2014, so that's what's called a teaser. I'm teasing that right now, so you guys stick around later. Plus, WorryWart's going to have to think some up on the fly because he can't check his email during the day, so he had no idea what the topics are going to be, and he's going to be thinking about this in the back of his mind while we're covering other things, so that's going to be...
This is the most anticipated games for this year, or
Yeah, for this year, yeah,
okay,
just like any games, you know, no particular platform, just across all platforms, you know, what
okay.
games you're going to be interested in. So, but first, I want to start off by talking about what games we're playing currently, and we'll start off with Kinsey. What are you playing lately that you want to talk about a little bit, Kinsey?
Well, probably the biggest thing I've played lately, even though it's a little late now, but the Destiny beta. I played a lot of the Destiny beta.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it was fun. I really hope they do more with kind of the story because I thought that was a little bit lacking. It just
Yeah.
kind of felt like Halo, and they keep dropping you in that same world, and so I mean it's a beta, so who knows where they can go from here. It can be amazing. I just feel like where I'm at right now, it can kind of go either way.
You know what it was? It kind of seemed like the story was sort of just always funneling you to the multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it
just
did.
like you're with two other people, and you're going from one objective to the next, and there's story in between there, but it's so hard to pay attention to the story because it just feels like one long multiplayer map. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't know.
Well, I'm
Apparent,
terrible at multiplayer, and
yeah,
it kind of makes me want it makes you want to play in the Crucible
Yeah.
because you can get stuff and you can level up that way and you can do all these other things. But
Yeah.
I don't really want to. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. I
Wally,
hope
you
they pay
saw how
attention.
good I am at PvP. It was awful.
Yeah. But we were having a great time though, weren't we?
you guys were playing together? Man,
Yeah.
now I feel left out.
Yeah.
Dang.
We were having a
Well,
great time.
should get a PS4.
Yeah. People would flip out if I ever bought a PS4. They'd be like, I can't believe it! Crab Gamer bought a PS4.
The
Oh,
best.
God.
You know what's funny too? I can't even think up those curse words. Like I have to be playing multiplayer to do it. You should have
Really?
heard.
Oh
You
my
should have heard
god.
some of the stuff. It was
She's angry? Dude,
no
I couldn't
me.
even... Oh, you?
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't even get WorryWart to play, man. I was like wanting to play the beta with him, and he was like never around. So now I know he was busy playing PS4 with Kinsey Burke.
Pretty much.
Yeah, now I know. And he's got all these PS4 shares and stuff. He just parades around like he's an Xbox fan, or that
Yeah.
he enjoys the Xbox, but he doesn't.
I'm one of
We
those.
we know the truth now, Worry.
I'm one of those crazy people that plays video games.
Now, see, I played the beta too, and I really liked it. I actually liked the story with like the sphere or whatever, and you
Yeah.
know, I liked that. But yeah, I do feel like for a beta, they actually let you play quite a bit. Like I like the random events and things like that.
Yeah.
And I specifically made sure I was on there on time to go to the moon, and I really liked that. And then you played the Crucible, and I thought the Crucible was terrible. Like
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Like I thought everything was overpowered, the guns, the vehicles. I didn't enjoy it, and that was a bit of a surprise because Bungie's really their bread and butter is multiplayer. with Halo, which Halo has a good story too, but really the multiplayer is really good, and most of the time it's balanced really well. And I felt like, okay, it's a beta, so I'm going to give it a chance, but I'm going to get Destiny anyway, just because I think it's going to be a good experience for like playing with friends, doing the co-op stuff, you know.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna get it when it comes out. I've already pre-ordered it, so I'm in this.
I think I might have hyped it up more to the fact where like I thought it was going to be more myself, two other people going out and exploring, but it just seems like we just go out into a map and fight to an objective, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe in my mind I was thinking it was going to be like a cross between like the exploration and like No Man's Sky and the shooting mechanics of like a Halo game, and it's sort of somewhere in between there, but not too heavy on the exploration. And I could be wrong. It could be just the beta, and they didn't give you enough of that, but who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, I explored a lot on my own. Like, I found areas where it didn't tell me what level things were. It just said that they were question mark.
Yeah.
And you couldn't kill them, right?
And you couldn't kill them. And I was like,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be here. But
Yeah. And like you can only they're a little bit weird with how they explain things. Like you can level up to like level 20 during the real game, and then you have to do some kind of other thing, and I don't know, it's kind of confusing or whatever. But I thought like the music was really good. There's kind of a lot of nods to Halo. The multiplayer I don't think was anywhere near as good as Halo's, but I genuinely liked it. I'm really like impressed for it, and it's not too far off now. So I think that's a good thing because like the games for the new consoles are kind of slow to this point. You know, it's like.
Do you ever remember it being this slow?
You know what? I don't personally, you know, because this is what happened, right? I had a PS2 and an Xbox, and then the Xbox 360 came out, and I got that right away. But it had so many games right at launch. You know what I mean? It was like Call of Duty 2 and Perfect Dark Zero and Cameo, and it had really good games. And you know, soon after that was like Saints Row and Dead or Alive 3. So I was really busy, and then I was still playing PS2 and original Xbox too, because Conquer had come out not too long in 2005, like right before the Xbox 360. So it was like I had a ton of stuff to do, but I don't remember there being this big of a thing. But at the same time, the original Xbox hadn't sold 85 million. You know, you didn't have these dual consoles like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 both have over 80 million sold. So these companies want to support that still, and I understand that, but I just feel bad for people that maybe are buying new consoles, the newer ones, and then expecting a bunch of new games right away.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But Kinsey, is there anything else you're playing outside of that beta that you maybe want to talk about?
Yeah, I started playing Dark Souls again, and I don't know why. I think it's because I hate myself.
Yeah, it's like that's like torture porn or something.
Oh my god, like that game. I want to like it because there's so many podcasts I listen to where they talk about Dark Souls and how much they like it like isn't the right word, but they're progressing. And that's one thing I'm not really doing in that game.
I think because it's so difficult, people feel like it's the cool thing to like or to jump into because it's so frigging difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so hard, and I made it way farther than I ever have before.
And I don't even remember old school games being that difficult.
No, I mean, I sat down and played it for 3 hours and was not entirely impressed with my progress. Like,
I can't do anything in that game. I admit it. I suck at it. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2. I can't do anything in them. I can't do anything. I just, you know, that I don't think those games are for me. You know, I think it's very hipster to like those games because they're difficult.
Yeah.
But when when a game's just difficult to be known as difficult, then I think that it's not really. I don't know. Are you not really having fun with it at that point? You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have a lot of time to game like I used to back in the day. So it's like where I used to like these big RPGs that are 100 hours long, and yeah, don't mind. I did really like Skyrim, and that was one of those. But that's the exception to the rule these days for me. I actually look for games that are like if it's a campaign or something 8 or 10 hours is fine with me. I feel like I've got my money's worth. So
I don't mind difficult. I don't mind difficult, but I don't like when they just make a game difficult to extend it. You know, like if it's going to be a 6-hour game, let's just make this one area really difficult so that it becomes an 8-hour game.
Or backtracking over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of backtracking.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, like I don't like that. It's like, okay, let's just get over with, you know, get it over with. You know, I'm not like, a big fan of that. So you're playing Dark Souls. Are you playing that? What are you playing that on?
360.
Okay. Did you get that free version of that, or did you already have it?
I've had Dark Souls since it came out, and I played like an hour of it, when it very, very, very first came out, and I was just like, fuck this game. So, and I haven't gone back to it until now. And I mean, I think the one thing I will give it is when I actually progress in it, I feel really damn good about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's cool. You
Yeah.
feel accomplished when you actually do, and congrats to you if you can feel accomplished on getting anywhere on that game, because you're a better gamer than me then, because I sure as hell can't do anything on that game. It's terrible.
Well, I just have my character run around naked all the time because then I actually have agility and I can actually dodge things.
I think you posted a picture of your character. It was like the ugliest character I've ever seen in my life.
I think I said something like, even if I suck at this game, at least I'm sexy. And she's like all hollowed.
Yeah, it's just like a dead body.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So anything else?
Not really. That's just been Destiny and Dark Souls because I was out of town for a while. So
Oh, okay.
no video
Gotcha.
games.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, wow.
camping.
What about your 3DS or something? Did you bring that?
I did, but it died shortly after I left.
Oh,
we were like
okay.
kind of more off the grid camping. So.
Oh, did you find Big Face?
I did not find any big faces. I looked. Trust me.
Did you?
Big face. Who's big? Bigfoot?
Yeah, she joked that
big
she
face.
would get because in an episode of Futurama they go camping
God.
and
Listen, if you two are going to do this again, leave me out of this.
No, but I just thought it was funny. And she did in fact keep her human horn the entire time. So
I know somehow.
so that's good. WorryWart, what about you? What have you been playing? I know you've been playing a lot of stuff. So.
Well, I've been playing. I just finished your favorite game. Crap, The Last of Us.
I know because I seen your screen shares.
Yeah, but I also finished the downloadable content Left Behind. I never played that before.
How was it? I haven't played.
I don't want to ruin. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but you really get a sense of the character Ellie, who she is, and a lot of.
Yeah, I know that you play as her in that part. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of. They explain a lot of the motivations that she had in the original story. It's really good. I really like it. And I just started playing Thief. Again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you know what? I seen that they're selling that on Xbox One and 360 and like PS3 on like GameFly. Like if you ever buy used games, like I don't 100% support like going to GameStop and stuff, but GameFly sells used games really cheap sometimes, and they do in fact buy them new anyway, and then they rent them, but then you can buy them from them at a certain point in time. And why I like to buy some used stuff from them is because what they do when they rent games out, they keep you get everything, all the stuff that's included, the DLC that might have been on there, and they just slit open the thing, pull out the game, and rent that out. And then when they sell it, they just pop that back in, so the case and everything is still new looking. Everything's like pristine. So sometimes they do really good flash. Yeah, they do really good flash sales on there. Like you can get Thief on like Xbox One for like $16 right now. So. And it's like if you want to get it on 360, it's like $12. Like they do really good deals there sometimes. Like if you're like a budget gamer and that you want to get good quality, because if you go to GameStop, one thing that pisses me off from there is they put all these stickers all over everything.
Oh, worse.
Like I don't know if that like annoys anybody as much as me, but it's like I will sit there with lighter fluid or something trying to get this damn sticker ink off there. I mean, I don't buy a lot of used games, but sometimes like if yeah, you can use a little bit of lighter fluid. It gets
don't ask.
Yeah.
Just let it, Kinsey. Just let him go. Just let him go. Eventually,
I'm sadistic. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And I know you've been playing some Crimson Dragon, WorryWart.
Well, I downloaded it because it was quote unquote free this month.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think.
Yeah, it's not.
I really liked Panzer Dragoon back in the day.
Yeah, Panzer Dragoon. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a little bit of that sense, but I didn't I don't know. I feel like it could have been a little bit more story driven. And like I don't know, they just made it like here's these levels, get a high score or whatever. I mean, some parts it's got really easy achievements. I thought, So
yeah.
I don't know.
But that's about it for me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I actually, I downloaded that Strike Suit Zero game because that's the other quote-unquote free game on Xbox One this month, and I already had Crimson Dragon. I bought that thing when it first came out. So, but yeah, I downloaded that Strike Suit Zero game, which is normally a $20 game, which is kind of expensive, and the game's okay. You know, it's pretty much what you expect. It's like
Yeah.
a shooter type game or whatever. It's not that great. But I also part of that EA Access beta program on Xbox One, so I downloaded Battlefield 4 and Madden 25. Because I paid for my year or whatever, which basically comes out to about $250 a month, and so I've been playing some of that stuff. So I've been enjoying Battlefield 4. I've been playing through the campaign, and I've been doing some of the playing some Madden. I skipped it, because I'm not. What happens is when the new consoles come out, they always get the first games that come out on there, like the sports games and stuff, are usually just ports from the last
Yeah.
generation, and so I didn't get it. But it's okay, actually. Actually, it's making me consider possibly buying the new one that's coming out this month. So yeah, I've been playing those, and I think I finished up Lego The Hobbit,
Oh boy.
which was I really liked that. I thought that was pretty good. They use the voice acting from the actual movie, so it's like experiencing a movie in Lego form.
Oh,
How
nice.
awesome! Yeah. So how awesome is that? I mean, that's pretty damn cool. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. A lot of stuff actually. You know what I mean? Because there was this lull where there wasn't much to play. So I'm happy that
It's
EA
pretty bad.
Access.
It's pretty bad right now. I'm waiting
Yeah,
for
isn't
something.
it? I mean, on all platforms. Yeah,
somebody
like.
needs to come out with something, and it needs to be big, and it needs to be soon.
And what comes out this month on the new consoles? There's only a couple things, and it's one of them is Diablo 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not a new
Those.
thing. Right.
It's not. I'm saying it's they're ports or whatever, but they
Yeah.
got all the DLC and stuff. So that's coming out this month. The two Metro games, Metro Last Light and
Yeah.
2030. Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, it's a slow month. Those are the only two games coming out, and then Madden. Those are the only three games coming out on new consoles this month. That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Hey, Kinsey.
So
Yeah.
we have another month.
Did you? I knew that this was going to break your heart, but did you see the news about Studio Ghibli?
Yes.
Listen to that. Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Who's
But-
Studio Ghibli?
Oh God.
Oh my god, it's like all the Miyazaki films, so like My Neighbor Totoro, like Kiki's Delivery Service, like
And
all of them.
they did
And
the
Oh,
game.
and I totally don't know what any of it is.
They did the game on the PS3, the role-playing game.
Ni no Kuni,
Yeah.
my #1 pick for 2013, the best game ever. That game? Yeah, that game.
Now I don't know if they're closing their doors. There was originally a story that they were closing, and then one of the people that works there said it's just sort of like a restructuring. I don't know.
I've heard kind of both ways, and now it's kind of in the,
Right.
I don't know, it's kind of in the shadows, and I'm not 100%.
Well, I mean, this things go nowadays. It's like, Homefront. That game was going to be by Crytek, and now Deep Silver bought the rights to that game.
Mhm.
Now they're going to finish it, and Crytek is closing down another one of their studios. So it's kind of rough goings for some of these studios. You know what I mean? Like even the small ones are starting to have a little bit of trouble. Yeah. But hey, Kinsey, you finally joined us in the next generation of gaming. Want to tell us what console you bought?
I got a PS4, and it's kind of awesome.
Congrats.
Well, the biggest thing, it's the same thing with the PS3 though, so this isn't really like a huge knock against it, is that I got it, and then it had so many installs, I didn't get to play it the first day I owned it. I had to wait till the next day to play anything.
Yeah, that's kind of par for the course. Once you get
Yeah, but I mean, what games did you get for it? I mean, is there anything that I know you got? Probably Second Son, right?
I didn't buy any
Infamous.
games with it.
Really?
Well, I'm poor, and I bought it during the Destiny beta.
Ah, okay.
So I was like, well,
Oh,
I'll just
okay.
play the Destiny beta, and I have PlayStation Plus, so I got Towerfall and Strider.
Yeah.
So I mean, I automatically
Strider's a good
started out
game.
with a couple games. Yeah, Strider is fun. It's good. It's
So
kind of
Strider is good. I mean, that's
To everyone listening, send Kinsey games for the PlayStation 4.
yes.
I want to play Second Son. I just have so much stuff like pre-ordered for this fall
Right.
that I don't really
Yeah.
want to like use up my money now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, hey, you know what? I could probably get this new Madden, but then when the games are coming out later this year, I might regret that because there's so many coming out that I want, and I already have a bunch pre-ordered, and it's like, what are you gonna do? But that's a good segue because we're gonna talk a little bit about our most anticipated games for this year. And so, why
Yeah.
don't you tell us some of the games that you are looking forward to getting to play on your new PS4 or the Wii U or whatever that you're most interested in?
Well,
Who?
me.
Kinsey, you're gonna have to think,
Wow.
Worry, because
Wait, back up here. Back up here. Did you see that? I'm like, tell us what games you want to play. And you didn't say who, and I said who. Me. Me. It's all about me. Go ahead.
Right now.
well, we let her go first.
I got you.
Well, Destiny I already have pre-ordered, of course. So I really hope they go in a
Yeah,
better direction with the story, or at least more, not better, just more.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Shadows of Mordor, I'm very excited about, and it's coming out a week early. They announced like last week, I think.
Is that in the Lord of the Rings
yeah,
universe?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
And it's like a third-person hack and slash, right?
yeah, it's
You
kind
know
of
what?
like
No, it
the
actually yeah,
like Arkham.
it looks like it plays like a cross between Arkham and Assassin's Creed with some of the climbing and things like that. It looked like a cross between those games. So it looks like it's going to be pretty good. I mean, I like the whole Lord of the Rings aspect of it, so that's definitely one on my radar as well. So
Okay.
what else are you looking forward to? Like really excited?
Well, Dragon Age Inquisition is probably my number one
Is
for
that
a
this
They
year?
nice.
delayed it. Yeah, they delayed it into October or into November.
Yeah,
It was originally supposed to come out.
I had to redo my vacation from work.
Oh man.
Well, I'd rather delay it and have it be right than have it be all buggy and stuff. Because I remember a bug in the second Dragon Age game where you could get infinite money, and like I couldn't do it, all my friends could, and so they're like, "Look at all this cool stuff I got," and I'm like, "Son of a bitch!" I was like, "How you guys get that?" Oh, because we did the infinite glitch or whatever, and I'm like, "I can't do it," you know. So yeah, I mean that's definitely cool. Is there any other games you're looking forward to, like? What about on the Wii U, possibly? Because there's Smash
Um,
Brothers. That's
yeah, I mean, I'll probably get Smash Brothers, but I'm not like a huge fighting game person. I guess if I was gonna play a fighting game, it'd probably be Smash.
yeah.
But I'll definitely play it, and Hyrule
What?
Warriors as well. But I kind of feel the same way about that, just because I've never really been big into Dynasty Warriors,
Yeah,
but I
but
like
it's
Zelda.
Zelda. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's Zelda, so you gotta get. What about like Bayonetta? Are you into that at all?
I should be because I just never played the first one, and I've always heard that it's so much fun,
Yeah.
and
It's really good.
I should really just play the first one. I have no reason not to, and it's probably
You know
cheap
what?
now, anyways.
Yeah, it is. But or you could just wait because it comes with the first one on the Wii U, so you could play them both. Or
Oh, that's right.
if yeah, so you could just do that, or you could just pick it up because I think it's like for used, it's like under $10 on the 360 or something. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and I think and it's definitely worth it. I just it's quirky, I guess. Like that's a good word for it. It's quirky, and it's interesting. Like it's one of those games that are, you know, not everybody's gonna like. I can tell that. But if you like quirky kind of games, like Japanese games, Sega games, they remind me a lot of Sega games, I guess. Like from like maybe the Dreamcast or something.
Yeah.
That I mean that's a thing, right? So. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of, like Sega games from like the Dreamcast or something. So yeah, that's really cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I can think of right now. Everything else I can think of is 2015. So,
Gotcha. What about you, WorryWart? Have you compiled your amazing list?
Well, one of them is me just being a complete fan nut, um, and that's Halo. I want to play that again. But other than that, I'm gonna try Dragon Age because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Um, See, there's not really a lot that I can think of. I mean,
You,
Assassin's
you you're
Creed
gonna
is a
get Sunset Overdrive. I know that.
yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Um, I'm just really like nerding, fanboying out over the Halo thing. I know that's ridiculous, but
Yeah, I seen that you want you want them to have the
the Twitter, the
the
share, the
update. Yeah,
Twitter, yeah,
the screenshot. That's rumored to be the next update. Is the game share option?
yeah. Like I love that. I love taking those. I don't know why. I just love hitting the screenshot button and sending it to Twitter, and then
Yeah.
going and looking at it. It's pathetic. But
Yeah, I know. It's
yeah.
a pain in the ass to do it on Xbox One. I mean, you can do it with like if you have a cell phone and stuff, but
Oh, it looks horrible though. If you take a
yeah, who
picture.
wants? Well, no,
Uh,
not just that. Like I do it weird. Like if there's a gameplay clip that I like, I'll do that, and then once you have that, you can access that on the app, and
right.
then you can just like do a screenshot with your cell phone, and it's an actual legit screenshot, you know. So, and then I can just share. I can do it to the Instagrams because I'm all up to date on all this stuff. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm all about that technological life or whatever. So
There's not much on the Wii U I'm looking forward to. I know there's a few games coming, but I mean,
Smash Brothers, right? I mean, you're gonna.
yeah, I'm not really into fighting games, but for some reason I kind of enjoy Smash Brothers. I don't know if that means that it's not a proper fighter, but I'm sure people are going crazy right now.
Doesn't that Ink game come out this year, or is that next year? What the hell is that
I think
game?
it is the end of this year.
Yeah. What
The
the hell's that
Diamond,
game's called?
which one?
That Ink game on the Wii U where you're like
Oh,
squids.
Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon. There we go.
Yes, I am looking forward to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that like I'm not sure when that game comes out, but that's one that I'm definitely looking forward to on the Wii U. I mean,
Yeah,
that looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
it
you know?
does. It does.
That one was rad.
It does.
Yeah,
I
it does.
forgot about that one. That one was completely off my radar.
Yeah, see, I'm cool like that, man. I remember all these like little quirky type games that that people are looking forward to, you know. Well, at least for me, anyway. I mean, if you don't own a Wii U, why wouldn't you get that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Other
Yeah.
than that, though, I mean, that there's not, I don't know. There's not that big game that's coming this year that I can think of that's huge, other than me being a ridiculous fan for Halo. But
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Halo too. Actually, I was just talking to my brother about that. He's like, "We'll need some other people to team up with for the four-player co-op on Halo
I'm
3
in
and
there.
Halo 4." So yeah, that's what I said. We just get WorryWart, and he's like, "Yeah, cool." You know, he's down.
I'll be
You
there.
know, yeah. So I was like, maybe we get Next Gen or somebody up in there too. You know, it'll be a good old time.
Yeah. Other than that, not much. I don't think there's.
Oh.
Oh my God! What happened?
Oh. And Alien Isolation.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is that this year?
Yeah.
Yes, it's October actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
October
I
7th.
completely forgot about that. And you know what? Every time an Alien game comes out, I do it, and I wind up kicking myself in the teeth. But I'm going to do it again. I'm going to buy it.
Hey, that last Alien game wasn't that bad. I mean,
I didn't think it was either. But when I tell people that, they look at me like I have 4 heads.
I gave it a slightly positive review, and people told me I was bought and paid for. I was like, I just do this for fun. I was like, I don't get paid for it. You know what I mean? It's just like, to me, if you're an Alien fan, it was kind of cool because it had some of the voice actors and stuff, and I didn't think that it played that bad. Like, I can understand why people had a little bit of issue with it because the AI was stupid, but they did actually fix that with a patch later on, and I thought it was actually okay, you know, and it was co-op too.
I just want that DLC where they have the whole original cast from the movie.
Yeah, I mean that's phenomenal. Oh my gosh, that does look phenomenal. Well for me, there's so many games. I have like I think 6 or 7 pre-ordered. It's Destiny.
I don't get pre-ordering.
Well, you know what? I do that because I pay on certain things. You know, I'm not like super rich, so I pay on certain things, and I arrange it that way. I don't like I don't blow it, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I have stuff paid off at a certain time or whatever. So it's like Destiny and then Forza Horizon 2 are the 2 games in September.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then October is like a huge month, so it's like Shadows of Mordor, Alien Isolation, Sunset Overdrive comes out on October 28th. Assassin's Creed Unity. That game looks really good. You know, the thing that tears me is I'm such a big fan of that game. There's a last gen version coming out too, a new game that's not going to be on the new consoles. So I think it's called Assassin's Creed Rogue. Yeah. They haven't even shown that yet, which is weird considering it's supposed to come out in a few months or whatever. So I don't know. But yeah, and then of course the Master Chief Collection. I already, I put money down on that. I know you go mostly digital, right? Though.
I try to as much as I can. I just don't. I don't have the time to run to a store, and so I like when I'm home. I could just say I want that, hit a button, and then it's mine. you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I get that.
I totally get people who hate digital though and like physical copies.
I don't hate digital, just my internet sucks so bad it take me all day to get the game. I might as well, it's faster to go down to the store and buy it,
Yeah.
you
Me
know?
too.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I usually pre-order from Amazon, so by the time I get home
oh,
from work,
okay.
it's like in my mailbox and here already.
I always wait to see who has the better deal. Like sometimes lately, the Microsoft Store will give you a $10 gift card or whatever if you order, and they do day and date delivery, so you can get $10 off of get the physical game and get a $10 gift card, and then those kind of add up or whatever, So I
Oh, nice.
yeah. Yeah, I'm usually pretty smart about it. The one place that I really begin to loathe is GameStop. They
Welcome to the
started
club.
doing I mean they started fingerprinting people to trade in games, and they have this credit card that they're starting to offer people, like mostly aimed towards college students, and there's like I think 24% interest on there.
I thought
I,
it was like
Um,
28.
the last I saw,
28 could be
yeah,
28,
the
yeah.
last I
Yeah.
saw was 29 actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I mean that's
why in
clearly
the world?
targeted. Yeah, it's targeted at like college students. How the hell are they going to pay for that? I mean, it's realistically, these kids are going to be like, "Hey, I got this credit card. I'm going to buy all these games," and then they're just going to get just totally swamped with, these bills. It's going to
Yeah.
be crazy. But
Yeah.
GameStop doesn't care. So it's like, not only that, but we only have like this one GameStop, and there's this really mean lady there. She's mean, like. I went there I went there with my brother for the midnight launch on the Xbox One, and she was just really mean. She kept trying to sell us stuff like, "Oh, you want some of this Xbox Live Gold?" And we're like, "No, we already bought like a year at the other place because they didn't have like the special edition kind or whatever. They did like the metal plated gold or whatever was the day one edition, and so
Mhm.
we got that, literally got it, and we still had a few months left on our current one. And she's like, "Well, but you'll need some more," and we're like, "No, you don't understand. We don't need it." What I mean? She's just like so insistent, and like she just like one time I was like, "Well, maybe I'll cancel that pre-order," and she just like gave me a hard time about it. So now it's like I go there as little as possible. You know what I mean?
Maybe she
So
was just trying to talk to you.
no, no, she's mean. I was gonna complain, and then I felt bad. I was like, well, if she gets fired, I would feel bad.
Yeah.
But all the other people that used to work there don't work there anymore because she was so mean. She's like this manager there.
Yeah, I don't like GameStop. I don't like going in at
Yeah,
all.
it's pretty bad. We have a mom and pop store here called Gamers Edge. They're really cool, but they don't get a lot of the newer stuff. So, but
Yeah.
they do like what's cool about them is they do all the retro stuff.
Yeah.
Like my little brother, man, he buys all kinds of crap there. Like he bought a Sega Genesis with a Sega CD and a 32X, all the cancerous tumor add-ons that you slap together on that thing. And he like, he got Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo. He's getting a really good Super Nintendo collection. Like he's got the biggest retro collection I know. And that store, like they're always saving stuff for him and stuff, like put it aside for him and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. He's only missing, I think, a few. I think he said he was missing Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, which is a really expensive
Yeah.
type of rare game.
Yeah.
Because it's so good, but hardly anybody bought it when it came out because the PlayStation 1 came out and the N64 was pretty close to coming out. So that's what happens, when you release really good games towards the end of a life cycle of a console, not a lot of people are into that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, and then as
That's
far
when Kinsey buys them.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I think right now is a good time to collect for the regular Wii and probably the 360 and PS3 because their prices are pretty low. You can buy a lot of good PS3, 360 games for under $10.
You know what's great? Did you ever hear? It's a really obscure Wii game. It's called Sin and Punishment. Did you ever hear of it?
Yeah, it
I-
came out on the 64 in Japan,
Yeah.
and it never came out over here until they like kind of redid it and they released it on the Wii, and it's amazing.
You know what's funny though? Like everybody talks about trying to find that. I went to a Best Buy. I think it was like maybe a month ago, and I walked in, and they had a rack of like 15 of them.
What? You should buy
Yeah.
like all of them. And
I
then
think,
one to me.
yeah, you know what? And I remember, like, I wasn't there to buy. I was just running in and running out. But I saw there had to be at least 15 of them there, and I think they were like $10 or $15
What?
in the case. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's the game everybody said was difficult to find.
Yeah, you should buy
I know.
Did you buy them?
You should buy me one.
Oh, I mean, I'll pay for it.
You should buy her one, dude. Come on.
I'll run back to that Best Buy.
well, yeah, it's like, like I look for good deals like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the, especially first party. Anytime you can find first-party Nintendo games anywhere for cheap, buy them, because those things fluctuate and they always go up to the high point. Like even like Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Wii, that game is still 30, $40, you
Yep.
know. So it's these games are, anytime you can find them for a decent price, I say, you know, go for it. You know, like
Yeah.
if I found I think Donkey Kong Country on the Wii, I found that pretty cheap. It was like $14, and I was like, hell yeah, because that game's you know, first party game, and that's mostly what I collect on Nintendo consoles. And so yeah, that's what I get. And like the same thing with like 360 and PS3. If you can find a game for under $10 on those consoles, they're most likely going to look pretty good still, and probably play pretty well. I think that you know, last generation was a hell of a generation for everybody, and it's, I mean, it's still going for a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people that haven't bought a new console. They're like, no real reason to, and I can't argue with that because for the most part there's not. I mean, there's a few
Yeah.
things, but I mean, you could, if you really like Destiny, I played the beta on PS3 and 360 as well, and it's the same game. It doesn't look as good, but you're still going to get the same game, you know. And
Yeah,
so for the most part,
this whole like generation so far kind of feels off to me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It kind of feels, I don't know, it feels weird.
slow. It feels slow motion.
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
it feels like everybody's kind of like, we're gonna make games maybe, but we're not sure. I don't know. Seems strange. Hopefully,
Yeah,
you know, next year it'll start to ramp up and it'll get exciting.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, man, I'm hoping it. You know, I'm looking forward to The Witcher 3 a lot, which comes out in February next year.
Yeah.
So, and Quantum Break and, you know, the Halo 5 and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully next year really kicks in, and I want to see more on, like, Mass Effect 4 or,
Yeah,
you know,
me
whatever
too.
it takes. You know, yeah, exactly, right? See, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I love that series, you know, and
Yeah,
they're
that's a great
teasing.
series.
They're gonna re-release the collection on the new consoles too. So, you know, if it was a collection, if they do all three games for 60, I might be in for that. Um, you know, just because I love the series so much, like Mass Effect 3, even though a lot of people gave it hate, man, I bought that on 360, PS3, and Wii U, and you know, I don't regret that. You know, just it's a good game. You know,
Mass Effect 3 was
I have no
awesome.
problem if I can get new achievements. Yeah, if I can get new achievements for it on the Xbox One or what have you, man, I'll be happy to buy that shit again. You know, especially if it's the choice between a remake or nothing, definitely a remake because that's better than nothing. You know, and like
Yeah.
this month, like I said, man, here we are, a month where there's literally 3 game releases and 2 of them are remakes from last generation. So, and one of them's a sports game. You know, so it's like slim pickings. So, yeah. But yeah, those are definitely games I'm looking forward to, and then Smash Brothers as well, and Bayonetta 2. You know, I think that Nintendo is weird like that. You know, like they're always going to come out with at least a handful of games that you're going to want to buy, and yeah, so there's definitely always going to be a few in there. You know, I'm still having fun with Mario Kart and that kind of stuff. So
Oh,
You
definitely.
can
you
play
guys
that forever.
probably, yeah, it's phenomenal. I think
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's really good. This was actually, the next topic is WorryWart's idea because he's the elder statesman, and he wanted to talk a little bit about the arcade lifestyle back in the day and how the loss of the arcades and the rise of consoles and internet has changed the community that existed back then to see what it is now. And if I had this thing, like from my personal point of view, is it's more or less alienated us because when you used to go to the arcades, you'd have your friends there and everybody's gathering around you like real life people, and now it's like they encourage you to play online with people, you know, all over the world, which is cool, but you lose that like interaction with people that are right there, you know. So just in my opinion. But what do you think about that, Kinsey? Like, what do you think about the loss of the arcades and rise of consoles and internet and that kind of thing?
Well, I definitely agree that people can tend to be a little bit more alienated because of it, because they play games by themselves or online or whatever. But, I mean, I live in Seattle. We have a lot of arcades here. I go to arcades more now than I did 10 years ago.
Oh well.
You lucky ass.
Well, whoop.
Like,
Hey,
when I
yeah,
was
not only
really
that, she could
little-
play Metal Jesus' arcade.
Yeah. Excuse
Whatever.
us.
Anytime I
Yeah,
want.
dang.
I
Yeah,
have.
see, we can't.
Yeah, I
Show
think.
up,
I
I'd be
think.
like, hey, Kinsey told me that I could play arcade if I ever got to Seattle. You'd be like, what the hell?
I mean, like, Seattle, I have like a retro vintage arcade like 2 blocks from my house.
Oh God, I'm about ready to go.
Oh damn.
So I mean, like,
Yeah,
there's a
let's
lot
head
of
on up
them
there. I
in
hear
Seattle.
minimum wage is 15. It's a lot of quarters.
It's like $1 now for $5 for a game.
Well, a lot of them are the same
Yeah.
price. For the most part, they're either a quarter or 50 cents, and some pinball machines are 75 cents for the most part.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
well,
awesome.
That's still not
I mean,
too bad.
No, it's fine.
I don't think, man.
I would
I don't think
gladly-
there's an arcade. There's not an arcade within where I live for about probably 200 miles.
Yeah.
What?
I haven't been to one since 2001 was the last time I went to an arcade.
I can't remember the last time I've seen or been near an arcade.
I take that back. I went to a really dilapidated mall in Michigan back in like 2004, and they had this real shitty arcade with some really crappy games in there. So.
Well, maybe I'm not the one to answer this question. Worry, what do you think?
Well, I have arcades right down the block from me, and they're like 50 cents and a quarter. It's really great. Matter of
And
fact,
your beer?
I was sleeping. I rolled out of bed into an arcade. It was great. I think that, it was less about the name on the cabinet as it was about the game that you were playing back then. And the people that, it was about, we would all get together, hang out, or who's high score, you're going to beat this guy's high score, that guy's high score, whatever. And I don't know, it's just, to me, it was more social. And it was less, it's probably more social now because of just the scope of the internet, and you're able to just play with anybody from anywhere. But it's also, I think, more hostile now than it was then. Probably because the people are right in front of you. So, you're not going to be as threatening or as hostile to somebody. But I think you really did lose just the fun of playing a game with somebody is kind of lost without them being like right there with you. You could see their reaction or their expression, or you can. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like you lost a lot. You gained a lot, but you did lose a lot with the internet and
the camaraderie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you used to go with your friends, and then like you be playing against somebody else on, say, Mortal Kombat or whatever, and your friends would be like, "Oh, he just kicked his ass!"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean I get that. Yeah, it's like, of course, Kinsey can go do that anytime she wants. Just take her crew down there, walk down the road, and have her beer looking like
with
a
some wheat thins, and go at it.
Yeah,
Sounds like a
so
good
I mean,
night.
she still has it. She has the best life out of all three of us. I'm quite kind of jealous. I mean, she goes camping. She's always drinking beer. She can dress like an Ewok. You know what happened if I tried to dress like an Ewok? I mean, I don't even want to think about it. It'd be bad. It'd be bad.
It sounds like you guys need to move to Seattle, is what it sounds like.
What's that? That's
what?
That's like a sitcom on TV.
Yeah.
Crap and Worry move to Seattle next week at 9.
Hey, the podcast would sound a lot cleaner, I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
It'd be like horning in on Metal Jesus' action too. I'd be like, yo, bro, let me go get in one of your videos, man. I can talk about something. The PSP. I think that's a cool system too. But yeah, I like arcades, man. I haven't been to one in forever though, and I think it's just like the area that you're in. I guess you're really lucky. I don't think me and WorryWart are as lucky. I live in the country in Florida, and so it kind of sucks. I don't think my little brother has ever been to an arcade, and I mean he's like 23, and I don't think he's ever been to one at all his whole life. So I think it's kind of sad to think about that there's somebody in their 20s that's never been to an arcade. That's weird.
Oh, that is sad.
Yeah, it is. Maybe I'll have to track one down one day and take him there. Be like, hey, back in my day, Sonny, we used to go to these things card arcades,
Before the Facebook and the Twitter.
The Facebooks? Yeah, that's what I call them. I'm like I always I call them the Facebooks and the Twitters and all that stuff. Like some people ask me, like my dad always is like, be careful with that Twitters and stuff. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'll be careful. Because he thinks, he thinks everything's like evil. So
Well,
Yeah, the
I will
Facebooks
say,
and
I will say that like
go
one
ahead.
thing that isn't the way it used to be is there used to be arcade machines in like laundromats and gas stations, and Alfie's Pizza had an arcade. Like
Yeah, it
there
used to be
used to
one at
be,
this pizzeria. We go to this one, and they used to have Mario Brothers and all kinds of cool arcades in there, and now they don't.
But
yeah,
They used to have coin-operated TVs too.
but that doesn't count as an arcade though. I mean, like
no,
like the arcades where
Yeah.
when you walked in, it was like I'm here. The music and the it's just I don't know. I just miss the whole. It was like an event, go into the arcade. I mean, now you could just have the arcade in your house, I guess, but it's just not the same.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
you could. I mean, it's one of those things where some people build up their own arcades or whatever. You know what I mean? I would
Yeah.
love to have a couple of arcade cabinets. Just to, and not everybody can be as lucky as some people, but yeah. So.
Oh well.
Yeah. So, all right. Just hold on. Oh, my dog's barking. That's cool. Come here, buddy. Now it's sounding really professional here.
Makes good radio.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Remember how the new Assassin's Creed had no women, not even nowhere in sight. Well, now there's a new trailer that's showing off an actual female Templar named Elise, and I think that's pretty cool. But apparently, it's not a playable character. I mean, do you think this is more or less to appease people that were upset, or do you think that this
No.
was something that was planned all along?
I don't think that they could have just thrown a female character in the game at this point just to appease people because it's too quick. She would have had already been programmed into that game, into the story. I just think they didn't show her, but it's still not a playable character.
Yeah, I think that's kind of still ridiculous.
Right. I mean, I would rather play as a female character in the Assassin's Creed game. I like that whole, I love playing the Tomb Raider games. I love playing the downloadable content for The Last of Us. I just there's something, I don't know what it is. It's just different.
You want to be a girl. That's what it is. I totally get it now.
Well, speaking of playing a female character, when me and Worry were playing Destiny, when we got back to the tower, we realized that our character is almost 100% identical.
Yes, our two characters are almost 100% identical.
The only difference was the hairstyle.
Right. That was awesome.
Oh, that's interesting.
We're simpatico.
Yeah. So you were both female characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, Worry. I'm gonna peel that back slowly. Don't worry. I'm gonna peel away the layers on that onion. Don't you worry, man. People are gonna know. People will know.
Same race, same class,
same
everything.
Right. Same everything. Same color.
Were you guys humans?
Same color hair. Same. It was crazy. It was.
Were you guys humans, or what race were you guys on there?
No, we were.
I don't remember what they're called.
Not the humans, not the robot race, but the other one.
The other one, the blue one.
Awoken or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, those are pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
I was just a human because I'm lame, but
yeah.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, we're all Star Wars fans, and I'm always looking for any kind of information. And you guys know who Simon Pegg is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, he was spotted on the set, and he almost kind of confirmed it without confirming it. They're saying that he might have a role, but it's going to be like CGI role or possibly like a puppet role or heavily makeup.
So Scotty from Star Trek is going to be in Star Wars.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
J.J. Abrams is the director, and they're good friends,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be cool. Like he said, he wouldn't want himself to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody would be like, hey, there's Simon Pegg in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But you could definitely maybe heavily makeup or something like that, and I think that would work really well because he's a fan of the show of the series. You know what I mean?
He's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, Mark Hamill has said that the movies are going to be mostly about the younger people. I don't know if that's just him trying to swerve people, but I think that it would be, it's hard to say. I really want to see what the old crew is doing. You know what I mean? More than anything.
I just can't wait for the first trailer. I want to see the first trailer.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to see it. You know, what was interesting was I was watching The Expendables 3, and Harrison Ford is in that, and he's like this grizzled kind of Air Force pilot, and he's like piloting a chopper, and he's like, I know some maneuvers, and I just thought that was hilarious, you know, like he's totally owning that he was Han Solo now, and I like that, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like I think that's really cool, and apparently he's back to work after being hurt or whatever, so you
Yeah,
know,
he
you got
broke
to
his
watch
leg.
it. Yeah, when you're heading up the Millennium Falcon ramp, you got to be careful, I guess, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
It's junk. Got to be careful.
yeah, it is. He's made a lot of special modifications though, so it's okay. Like, you know, what's really funny is I
She'll make
like that
point
part.
.5 past light speed.
Yeah, and she can make the Kessel Run,
Yeah,
and
another 5
and
parsecs.
yeah, even though that's
That's a
a
unit,
unit.
a unit of measure. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's funny. But like I was watching the Family Guy thing, the Golden Harvest, which is the first one. It's kind of parodying episode 4, and he's like, "Don't worry, I know some maneuvers." And then he like just kind of goes off to the left. And if you actually watch episode 4, when he says that, it actually just kind of goes off to the left like that, like no real maneuver. And I just thought it was funny that they kind of called that out. He's like, "Well, you didn't really do anything. You just kind of went listly to the left." And then when it cuts to the people on the Death Star, he's like, "Wow, this guy knows some maneuvers." You know what I mean? I just thought that was really funny. Like, I like when they poke fun at that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I like all things kind of Star Wars or whatever. So I think that that's really funny, and I'm looking forward to almost anything. I don't really want spoilers per se, but any kind of like, it was cool when you got to see them. They're putting the ships up there, and they actually have them like real ships for people to get into. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
bow wow bow bow.
The vibration.
Somebody
Vibration
wants
Sorry.
hours.
somebody wants her to go to the one
Arcade.
of those arcades. Yeah. So
That
yeah,
can't be
that.
that loud, can it? Like,
Well, we heard it.
It's very
Oh.
loud.
sorry,
Yeah, it was like
listening
it's like.
to all.
Yeah. So.
So it's either somebody's getting root canal or somebody's having fun.
Somebody's probably having fun. They make those things in all sizes now.
Oh, root canals? They make those in all sizes?
No, no, something else. um, I wanted to talk a little bit about something we talked about a little bit earlier, which is digital media versus physical media, and what we
Uh-oh.
prefer in the future. The main
Uh-oh.
reason I asked this is because I collect video games. You know, I have a big collection of like retro, but I also like even as far back as last gen, 360, PS3, Wii. Everything's all physical media.
Yeah.
But going forward, I was okay. I was like a little bit hesitant about going digital because I like to collect stuff. But at the same time, when I moved, I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of stuff to pack up and move. You know, maybe I will go digital. But then again, I have a bandwidth cap and my internet's slow as hell. So I download some stuff digitally, but then for the most part, I'm stuck going physical again, and which I guess I don't hate it, but it's like it's not as convenient because I got to get up and switch out the games. You know, it's always easier to switch between my digital games and the new consoles. But what are you guys looking forward to? I mean, Kinsey, I know you're a collector. Are you like since you have a PS4 now, are you going to be like getting some digital stuff? Are you still going to be going for physical media or what?
I'd always prefer to have physical media just because of the collector in me. And
Yeah.
I'm never gonna like. I usually don't like trade in or sell my stuff very often. But
Neither do I.
I kind of like having that option because I can't really do that with like digital stuff unless I just sell like my whole system.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that.
That's a good point. I mean, I never traded anything like GameStop and all these things. They always tell me, well, you can trade in your stuff, and I don't stress it enough. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't ever trade in anything. You don't understand. I don't care if it's you know, I don't care what it is. I'm going to keep it. You know, I still have all my games. Like negative money to me if I try to trade something in, especially if I bought it for $60. You're going to give me $20 credit. And I'm going to buy another $60 game, and you're going to sell this game for $54.99, and that's all profit to you. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't go in for all that stuff. I like, the collector in me likes collecting stuff, but at the same time, like I like I like the portability, I guess, of digital stuff. Like if I were to bring my console or something with me, I don't have to lug a bunch of games with me or whatever. So there's definitely pros and cons to each side. I can see it. What about you, WorryWart? Because I know your ass is like digital mostly.
Not mostly, but I mean, I've already done that with music, so it's not a big deal for me. I don't see the threat.
CDs forever, bitch.
Yeah.
CDs forever.
I mean, I understand, like, the whole people were going crazy with, you're going to have a disc-based game, but there's going to be DRM attached to it versus just a digital. Because obviously, if it's a digital game you're downloading, there's going to be DRM attached to it because it's digital.
Yeah.
But if you have a physical game and somebody's trying to do DRM with that, that could be, that is an issue. But here's what I was thinking of. When you buy these games now, they both require them to be installed to the hard drive before they can even play, right? Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they just don't let you play off of the disc? Why does it have to be installed to the hard drive?
I mean, that's the same way how it is with PCs.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, why couldn't you just play it off of the disc? Don't you think that somewhere along the line they have this idea of everything being digital?
You know what happens is the Blu-ray players aren't fast enough to spin the discs at the required rate. They're too slow.
I don't know about
No,
that.
that's the technical reason.
Well, listen. I mean, we had Blu-ray in the PS3, and the games worked.
Yeah, but you had to install them all.
Yeah.
You did. That was a big thing. Yeah, you had to install everything. The 360 was on DVD 9, so.
No, I played games right off of the disc on my PS3.
I think it depends on the size of the disc, but I'd like to know, man, because every single one is a download and install. That I've seen anyway.
I don't think so. Am I wrong, Kinsey? Or?
Yeah, you're 100% wrong, bro.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. On the PS3?
On the PS3, you have to install everything.
Oh God, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, like the whole Blu-ray doesn't read as fast as a standard DVD laser, and I don't know. I think everybody kind of thought or has an inclination to sort of get this content onto the box, and maybe we're going to let you do things with it. Maybe we're not going to let you do things with it. Digital, no matter how much you hate it, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could still go buy a record. You could still go buy a CD, but I mean,
I love buying records, dude. They sound awesome.
I think,
me
I think most people have accepted like certain forms of entertainment as being digital, like movies. People have accepted, downloading movies or owning catalogs of movies. People have accepted music, but there's a lot of backlash against games, and I think that partly it's because there's a large number of people who are really, really young that play games. And part of it is the whole DRM thing and what do you own. But, I went through the same thing with music. So I have my iPod and I have thousands of songs on there. And, as far as I'm concerned, they're mine.
Yeah, you know what got me on board with the music is like I actually collect vinyl and stuff like 60s and stuff like that music. So I still like that stuff. But what got me onto the music was I have a bunch of CDs, but them fuckers are all scratched up. Like you try to play them and you can't. They're all scratched up, dude. I like don't understand it. They're in the cases, but they're scratched to hell. So like I'll be trying to listen to one, I'll be grooving, and next thing you know, it's like and I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of helped me move towards digital music. Like everybody does, like the iTunes or what have you. So I think that helped with that. And then as far as movies go, I think Netflix and things like that really helped.
Right.
Although they don't have like a lot of the movies and stuff. But even I just think it's the accessibility. Like what I do is I'll install DVDs to my computer that I can stream to like my 360 or whatever until they put out Plex on Xbox One, where you can stream it. That way I don't have to sit there and put in discs all the time. I like that aspect of digital stuff, you know what I mean? But I also like the dual aspect of, like, the original Xbox One's idea was install the bits of the game off the disc, and then you didn't need a disc anymore. I fucking love that idea, because the collector in me, you still keep the damn disc, but you don't need it to play the game. I love that idea, That's brilliant to me. Like, that's, I like buying DVDs and Blu-rays and then ripping them. That way I don't need them anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I still have them if I wanted them, Yeah,
the only problem with that is it calls into question who owns a physical object that you purchased.
Well, if you look at the official thing when you buy these things, you don't actually own the games. Everybody thinks when you buy a game you own it. You actually don't. I mean, you own that thing, but you can't do whatever the hell you wanted to it. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of copyright and laws and things like that involved in the process, and everybody's like obsessed with like what you own and stuff. But the thing is, the publishers and developers are getting the last laugh anyway, because look at the games that are coming out. Destiny, online only. There is no offline mode to that. You know,
Yeah.
even like the big Xbox One game Titanfall, that's fully online only.
Yeah,
The
it is strange though. Like, people that go crazy on it, like there are games that you can buy physical copies of that will not work unless you're in a digital medium online, which is strange. So
Yeah,
you could say like, hey, I own this game. I hate digital. Here's my physical copy of Destiny. However, I can't play it because I don't have an internet connection, which is weird.
exactly. Yeah,
I think one of the
exactly.
big differences, though, between like movies and music and games is like, well, number one, I don't care as much about owning music and movies.
Exactly. See, we're
like-
gamers, so we care a lot more about games.
But
Right.
like all of my movies, I can put on my Mac or my PC. Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I can't put all my PS3 games that I've downloaded onto my PS4.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about downloading games is eventually they're going to get left behind and I'm going to have to keep it hooked up or not and just not have those anymore.
Well, do you think like a streaming service for games would help people maybe accept digital a little more? If you could say you could stream all of those old games that you purchased across generations, let's say.
I don't know. Maybe if it was something more like Netflix and not paying per game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also my internet sucks. I'm never going to be able to stream a
Exactly.
game. That's never going to happen.
I'm in the same situation you are. Hell, if my brother starts streaming Netflix, man, there goes my ability to play online.
Yep.
You know, I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I'm in the same situation as you. And I actually tried on live before when that was a thing, and it looked really bad to me. I don't know. It's like. I don't see how that's going to work as good as other things. But, especially when there is things like GameFly, which is kind of cool, I guess, if you're kind of a budget gamer, because then you can play as many and beat as many games as fast as you can, and like I actually can do that pretty quick because there's a center like within 100 miles of here, so I can get a game, I send it back, and I can have a new game in 2 days. So.
Nice.
That's a cool aspect to me, and like I do reviews and stuff on my channel, so a lot of times I'll do that because I can't afford every single game that comes out, but streaming games for me isn't going to be an option. And like you said, as gamers, I don't care as much about the stuff like music and stuff about owning that, but the games, I'm always like, yeah, I probably do want to own that, you know what I mean? And it's like, I have Plants vs. Zombies, which is another really good game, and that's online only. I've been noticing that I've been piling up these games that are going to be worthless 10 years from now, which is odd for me because, back in the day, any game you bought was never going to be really worthless as long as you had a console that could play it and the game held up. Now I see that I'm going to have games that are actually going to be worthless and you can't play. And it even started last generation because I have games like SOCOM Confrontation on the PS3 that was online only, or MAG, and they shut the servers down for those games already, and so they're basically worthless. So you bought them or whatever for $60, and now less than 6-7 years later you can't play them. So I think that a lot of people are going to have trouble with that. I have trouble with that because I feel like if it's going to be an online only game, they shouldn't charge you $60 for it. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. Or if it's just going to be, like I always felt like Titanfall, I love that game, but it's just basically a multiplayer game. So I think charge half of what you would. If it's like only got multiplayer, 30. If it's only got a campaign, 30. I don't think the whole $60 aspect for one or the other is I don't know. To me, I like both. And I think it's kind of sad that we're seeing, like, even with games like The Division and, like, Elder Scrolls Online seems cool to me, but I would have much rather had, like, another Skyrim or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
God, let's just talk about Skyrim, you guys. It's so good.
I was such a nerd when that game came out. I was, like, so immersed in that game, and I loved it so much. It's like, and I haven't even played it forever, but, maybe I should, because I never beat the DLC for that. I don't know if you ever
Gotta go back.
had what is that, the Dragonborn DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah. WorryWart, are you there? Maybe.
Hello.
Yeah. Was it the bat signal?
I played the Dragonborn was great. What
was the other one?
There was another one where you went to another province. What was it called? God, I don't remember.
I know there was the Dragonborn one. There was the other one, and they had them on sale recently on 360, and I almost bit I decided not to. So
Great game.
I was
I
like, I
can't
don't
wait
know,
for
like
their next one.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like really looking forward to. You know, it's like some developers like them and like id Software with Doom and some of these other ones. They really do a good job with taking their time with putting these games out. Like, well, I'll say Fallout, even though I never played a Fallout game in my life. But you know,
I'm
they really
still
take
mad.
their time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, right? I'm bad. Like that's like my little shame right there. I've never played Fallout or Half-Life, so
Oh
you know. Yeah, I
my
know. I suck. I
God.
own Half-Life and Fallout 3 and New Vegas, but I've never actually played them. I actually own the orange box
Play
and never played
Half-Life.
it. Like,
Play
yeah,
Half-Life.
you know what? I might go around. I've been like, as far as like the back catalog, I've been almost through with Crackdown 2, and then I'll probably start something else. I was actually thinking about doing Dragon Age 1 and 2 again real quick before Dragon Age 3 comes out, just to kind of catch up or whatever. You know, I really liked it.
You're gonna
Yeah,
do
those are so good.
you're gonna do Dragon Age 1 and 2 real quick.
Yeah, well, I can beat. I think I beat them last time I played through. I think it took me about 22 hours each,
They're
something
not
like
crazy
that. So
long.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean, I'm not like a completionist where I have to do every single thing like side quests and stuff. But you know what I never did either was there was a big expansion to the first one, which the first
Oh.
Dragon Age game looked like
Yeah.
it looked like crap, but it was so awesome I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like from a graphical standpoint, it was bad, but it was so awesome I didn't really care. The second one looked really good, but the story wasn't wasn't nearly as good. You know, I don't know. And I still liked it. A lot of people hated it, but I liked it. I think BioWare can do no wrong, for the most part.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do. A lot of people just like to hate on them because EA owns them now, but I've liked them since the beginning. I've enjoyed their games, and I'll continue to enjoy them. I loved Mass Effect. I always felt like the more popular Mass Effect got, the more criticism that they got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Mass Effect 3. I beat it. I got the game early and beat it. I thought it was awesome. I think I gave it a 5. I did a review on it that got like 100,000 views because I did mine early because I got it like I think a week early. And I was like, people are going to love it. They're going to absolutely love it. And then it was getting really good scores. And then a couple weeks later, people were like, the ending was terrible. Your choices didn't matter. And if we may have a discussion real quick about the ending, I thought you were indoctrinated. That's what I got from it, so it didn't matter. Like, that's why I thought that, like, you know, you were indoctrinated the whole time. So
Yeah.
that's my take from it anyway. So they're saying so it didn't matter because you were indoctrinated. So voila, there's no real secret to it as far as I was concerned. So I thought it was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? What other ending did people want? You know, I
Oh,
liked
so
it.
good. I think I cried in the end of Mass Effect.
It was so epic, wasn't it? Like the
Oh my
most
God.
epic thing ever. It was awesome.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Uh,
I think I was more worried that like I had killed Garrus, and then I didn't, and I was like, oh, okay, good. Close one.
I wasn't really into Garrus too much. I
No,
don't know.
you like the blue
Jax.
alien, right?
I like, what was her name? Jax? Was that her name?
Oh,
No,
Jack.
her
Yeah.
Liara.
Oh, I like
tried to
Liara.
go
She was the
Romero.
alien. Dude, Jack
I
was
like
like
Liara's mom.
you like Jack
Oh,
because
Samara? Oh no, Samara's not Liara's mom. She's just the other.
Oh, Samara. I forgot about
That's-
Samara too.
Yeah, she's just the other Asari.
I gotta
But no,
think-
wait,
I
Jack
gotta think
was.
for
you
Blue
like
Chicks.
Jack? She was the bald-headed chick. Ugh.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
tattoos
I
all
was.
over.
I tried,
Yeah.
but she did not. Nope, didn't want me.
Yeah. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. I don't know. Like, for me, it was just Ashley. Like, that was the one for me in Mass Effect 3 because from Mass Effect 2, I still had such good fond memories of that. You hook up with Ashley, and it was all like she was the one I saved. It was like, who are you gonna save? The chick that you've been trying to hook up with the whole game, or the dude? So I was like, obviously, it's gonna be
Oh
Ashley.
God.
What I'm gonna save.
Oh,
So yeah.
Ashley was dead in my game.
Oh wow.
Oh, was she? Oh, ouch. You saved Caden, who was actually just Cartho Nassi from
Yeah,
KOTOR. Yeah.
Oh, Karth.
Kaden.
Yeah, he was Caden Alenko. I'm like, shut up, Karth. That's what I kept telling him. I was calling him Karth the whole time. And actually, I think the voice actress who did Bastila from KOTOR was actually in. I think she does the Femshep voice, I want to say, or maybe a different voice. I know she's in there somewhere along the lines. Yeah, they use a lot of the same voice actors and stuff. I thought, man, that's really cool. You know, I really like that, man. I still hold out hope for a KOTOR 3 one day because I'm not into MMOs on the computer. So the whole Knights of the Old Republic PC thing didn't really appeal to me. I want to see what the hell happened. You go off looking for Sith, and then that's the last thing you hear. They don't come out with another game. That pisses me off.
They got to do another one.
Yeah, it's like, do you guys understand this? Like, all these developers, like Capcom, they're like, oh, we're struggling so bad for money. Do they not hear people say, hey, we want another Mega Man? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do these companies not hear us say that?
But you know what? Sometimes people say that all the time. Well, oh my God, yeah, I want this game, I want this game, I want this game, and then the game comes out and it barely scratches a million. You know?
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same thing when everybody says they want a new Conker.
Yeah.
I always point out this Conker and things like Sonic the Hedgehog. Those were products of the 90s, that kind of bad attitude kind of era, and it's a different era nowadays. And I have to wonder if that's part of the reason why Sonic games don't sell as well. Like, I did a review for Sonic Lost World on the Wii U. Phenomenal game, plays a lot like, and kind of reminds me of Mario Galaxies, which was a really brilliant Wii game. Really good, but a lot of people just all of a sudden assume because it's a Sonic game that it's going to be bad, because there hasn't really been a lot of really good Sonic games lately. And that Sonic game is really amazing, but people just think that it's bad or whatever, you know. And there was some bad Sonic games. Sonic 06 is probably one of the worst Sonic games of all time, maybe one of the worst games of all time. You know, it's terrible. But
well, like
Sonic
Unleashed, why, when he turned into a werehog, was he stretchy? Why? Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I never beat it. I couldn't do it. Like, the werehog parts were impossible. But okay, Sonic Colors on the Wii was really good. I thought Sonic Generations was really good.
Oh, I like Sonic Generations. Yeah.
Yeah, because it went back more towards the roots or whatever. And that's what I was looking forward to. You know, like, I really like that aspect of it, and I think that's cool. But so there's been a good mix of good Sonic and bad Sonic games, but people, I think that he doesn't fit in with today's youth or whatever like he did back in the day. When I was, you know, back in a kid and they had the Genesis and he's super bad with Sonic 2, you know, he had that attitude and ate chili dogs, you know, that was cool.
He did.
You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple cartoons and Urkel was both of them. You know, he was Sonic in both of them. So, I mean, yeah, that was really cool. And there was one that was really good. The Saturday morning Sonic was awesome. That was the really good one. And there was this really cheesy one that was on like every day in the afternoon or whatever. And that one sucked. Like, it was like the Three Stooges of Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, there's some games where people ask for it, and I understand that. But I know for a fact that people would be into a new KOTOR game. I don't care what anybody says. People would be into that game in a big way, and they would make a lot of money. You hear that, EA and BioWare? You want to make money?
Especially if it was BioWare and not Obsidian. Not that Obsidian's bad, because they've made...
You know what happened? Like, that was partly due to LucasArts, because BioWare couldn't do the sequel. LucasArts wanted the sequel to come out the following year. They only had a year to work on the game, and they ended up having to cut a lot of stuff, I guess. So yeah, that's what happened. Like, I don't really blame BioWare. I actually like a lot of the stuff that BioWare or that Obsidian did with that game, but there was so much stuff cut in it, and I'm like, why do you not play as the character you were in the last game? That pisses me off more than anything.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I want to continue.
Yeah, they give you this character. You had this great, awesome twist when you didn't realize that you're the evil guy all along, and you had a little bit of a brainwashing or whatever. And then, hey, let's let you play as somebody else. You know, I think that's just stupid. You know, I'm not a fan of that. You know, but I liked the game. I thought it was really good.
You mean you didn't love playing as Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2?
No. Not only that, but I didn't even understand to this day. I don't know what the hell the ending of that game was about. I have no idea. Like, no clue. I love Metal Gear. I have the Metal Gear collection on 360. My brother got it for me a couple years ago on 360, and I love it. But it's like I still don't have any damn idea what the hell is going on in that game. You know, it's crazy. That's Kojima. You know, he just. Yeah. That's what he does, you know? Yep. Did you guys see, I don't know if you guys like Marvel movies or whatever, but there was some leaked Deadpool footage. No. It's like mocap with Ryan Reynolds, who played Deadpool in one of the Wolverine movie, the first one.
I clicked on that link that you sent, and it was like, this video.
Yeah, they took the video down. I actually saw it. It's actually really good. It makes you want a Deadpool movie. The reasoning is because Deadpool's really cool because he breaks the fourth wall. You know, like he realizes that he's a character, and I think that's really cool because there was a Deadpool game that came out towards the end of the generation that's really good.
Oh, that game was
and one of
funny.
the yeah, and that's exactly. It's really funny. Nolan North voices him. He's the guy that voices Drake in Uncharted and stuff. And the Penguin, oddly enough, the British Penguin in the Arkham games. But yeah, I always thought that was a bit of a shock. But yeah, so I think that he's one of my favorite characters. Like, do you guys remember they did X-Men Legends? And X-Men Legends 2 was on the PS2 and GameCube and Xbox, right? Like a whole 2 generations ago now. Brilliant games, they sold really well, and then you don't see anything more from them. Then they do similar games where the top-down perspective with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, and then we got 2 of those games, brilliant games, and then you don't see anything more from them. I think those games are due for a comeback because you get to play so many different characters, and superhero movies are popular again. And Deadpool was in those games, and I always like being him because he's real sarcastic and stuff. And I always consider myself kind of sarcastic or quick-witted, although not when I do this show because I don't know why. Because WorryWart probably steals all the sarcasm, so so I can't be. I'm not free to be myself as much as normal. But yeah, I would love to see that. Like Ryan Reynolds sucked as the Green Lantern. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but that was terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah, it was really bad. But I think he's really funny as Deadpool. And if they ever put that footage back up, you guys could check it out and
Cool.
tell me what you think. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And the other thing is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a couple Turtles related thing. IGN and there's some other places did their review of the movie, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's this movie poster where it shows the Turtles jumping out of a building that's blowing up, and I guess since the release date is 9/11, this is causing a lot of flack. I don't know. Do you guys think that that's insensitive, or do you think people just are probably reading too much into it?
I don't know. It sounds like it's kind of in poor taste.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
yeah, it does seem
like-
like it's in poor taste.
I'm not usually the oversensitive person, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of an obvious one. Maybe not, but
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things you don't mess with. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's that long ago. Like if they want to, put Pearl Harbor's date up on there and show some boat sinking, I don't think it's going to piss that many people off. But this is something that just happened, not too long ago, and so I think that a lot of people, yeah, and I'm not really overly sensitive either. I think that we've gotten way too politically correct and stuff. But this, I think, building blowing up in big old 9/11 in there. I think, like, if you saw the poster, it is kind of in bad taste. I think so.
yeah.
Who do you think, WorryWart?
The poster has the date. Does the poster
It says
have
9/11. It releases on 9/11, right?
Right.
And so it says like big lettering 9/11, and it shows them jumping out of like a building that's blowing up.
What kind of building?
Big skyscraper.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I was thinking. Like I seen some people were like, "That's stupid" or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then when you actually see this thing, you're like, "Huh."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that it can be a little bit overbearing or whatever, and
maybe they knew the movie sucked and they're just trying to get shock value now.
Well, we don't know 100% that it sucks because I haven't seen it. Obviously, it's not out yet. But IGN, I think, gave it like a 6 point something out of 10, and everything that I've been hearing about it, the turtles are giant in this movie. I'm gonna throw that out there. They're huge. Like they're big. They're bulky. They're not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be like human size. Like, to me, they just seem like they almost seem like Transformer turtles. Like, I don't know what the hell the deal is, man. Like, Michael Bay is just, like, high or something. I don't know why he has to ruin my childhood. Like, he says, hey, let's ruin everybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s and loved turtles and Transformers, and let's totally fuck that up. And, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of pissed off. Like, how do you mess it up that bad? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you want to do digital turtles or whatever? That's fine. I'm down with that. Because I like the live action stuff, and that's cool. Digital effects have come a long way. Even though if you go back and watch the first Turtles movie from '89, even though they're in suits, that's amazing. Like, it's dark and gritty. I love that movie. You know what I mean? It's still one of my favorite movies. It's the first movie I ever seen in a theater. And I think it's awesome. And this movie, I guess they turned the Foot Clan into like paramilitary people or whatever.
No.
So they're not even. Yeah, they're like a paramilitary unit. And the Shredder isn't like, I guess, the Shredder that wears that suit. He has like a robot Shredder or whatever that does stuff, So, and Megan Fox is not a redheaded April O'Neil. What the hell? I mean,
I like none of this. I'm just not down with any of this.
Yeah, see, like, I mean, what did you think of, like, his interpretation of the Transformers movies? I haven't seen the latest one because
The first one was really good, and then it became.
I liked the first one, yeah. But then as they went on, you couldn't tell the damn robots apart. I'm like, who's that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, give him some personality or whatever. It's like, okay, I can understand Optimus Prime because he is the same guy, Peter Cushing, who does his voice in the 80s, which was awesome.
Peter Cushing.
Oh, not Peter Cushing. What the hell is his name?
You're
Yeah,
thinking
Peter Cushing's
Grand
dead.
Moff
My
Tarkin?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin, who did his scenes without pants on or something, or without shoes or some crap. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, he didn't. He thought that the shoes were uncomfortable or the pants or whatever, so they only filmed them from the waist up because he had no pants on in any of his scenes. I swear to God. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I'm not in a hurry to like watch one of my favorite childhood things get ruined by this man again, but at least they're not aliens like he intended. But they're giant, man. They're like 12 foot tall or something.
No,
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like ridiculous. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, you know what? This is what I'd say, and I haven't even seen it. If you guys are fans of Turtles, the Nickelodeon cartoon or whatever is really good. Like, I don't know if like you might think it looked because of the weird animation style of that, but if you sit down and watch it, it's hilarious. They really pull off the characters real well. Sean Astin does a voice in there. Jason Biggs does a voice in there. They got really good voice actors in there. It's like it's really well done. I don't see why they just didn't get those guys to voice act. They were much fun. They seem much funnier and more genuine than me. And why is Megan Fox in another movie? I have no idea because she cannot act. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. She's like one of the worst actors. Yeah, she's okay to look at. I get that. She's pretty. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like there's a reason why people are actors, and there's a reason why people are models. You know, I get it. You know, she is attractive, but I don't think she can act worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? So, especially for a role like maybe it's because I'm too close to it because I grew up with it and it was like one of my favorite things. But I don't know.
It's a. I mean, she's acting. She's not in a Shakespeare movie. She's in the Turtles. So.
Whoa, yeah, she probably would do it with the same kind of enthusiasm.
She
I
doesn't
guess.
need to be a great actress for a Michael Bay film.
You know what though? But April O'Neil isn't just well. I guess she is a damsel in distress, but she's supposed to be a little bit independent and kind of badass. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then just watching that and with her or whatever just doesn't seem that way to me. It's like it regresses a bit. Like, you know. I don't know. That kind of annoys me. Like, we've gotten through the part where, like, all right, I watched my favorite superhero growing up was Captain America, right? I just watched The Winter Soldier with him, and I love what Joss Whedon did with the Black Widow. Like, if you watch Black Widow, who's played by Scarlett Johansson in the second Iron Man movie, you're not sure what's up with that character, you know? It's not that great. But then when you see what Joss Whedon wrote for her in Avengers, it's really good. You know, because he's a big feminist, and you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He got tired of seeing women get beat on in shows and movies and stuff. So he really developed that character. And then when you watch The Winter Soldier, which is the second Captain America movie, it was badass. She's really good in it. You know what I'm saying? I would see a movie with just her. You know, it doesn't hurt that she's like this hot redhead, but you know, she can act, and the character's good and it's well developed. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, in my opinion, as opposed to Megan Fox. You know. Yeah. Like I always see her like in the Transformers movie where she just bent over the car. I mean, there was yeah. There's just no point to it. Like the second one especially.
No,
okay,
there's a point to it. There's a point to
yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Very pointy.
I see what you're saying. The first one, I agree. You know, she was pretty good in that. The second one, there was her part was totally forced. It looked like they were just trying to shoehorn her into that, and I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, you know, I'm a guy too. You know what I'm saying? I just like, I think she's good looking or whatever. But damn, if it doesn't fit the part, don't put her in there. You know?
It's a Turtles movie.
Quit hating. I'm
But I
telling
want but I know that's it. It's a Turtles movie. I want it to be good, or at least watchable.
It's not gonna, as soon as they said Michael Bay, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
going to be a
realize
lot of
that.
explosions and really 12-year-old dialogue and another explosion and some boobs.
Slow motion running.
And
Yeah.
then some boobs and then credits. That'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'll probably go. I'm not sure I'll go see this movie. Like, I hear a lot of good things about Guardians of the Galaxy. I might go check that out. I heard a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, I like these movies. You know, I like the superhero movies and stuff. I grew up with, like, you know, it's cool that it's popular because back in the day, you wouldn't have been able to get the quality and things like that you're getting now with these movies. So I think it's cool that the stuff that I liked as a comic book as a kid is now getting made pretty accurately on the big screen. I like that. I just hope that they continue to do a good job. There are certain people that take these movies and have knowledge of the past with the comics and stuff, and they do a good job with them. And then there's some that don't. Like if you've ever watched X-Men 3, Brett Ratner, who did like one of the Rush Hour movies or whatever, did X-Men 3. He had no idea anything about the X-Men history. Kills off the best people. Kills off Cyclops in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Bah.
Kills off Professor X. You know what I'm saying? Just terrible. If you don't care about the project or, then I don't think you should be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that that's pretty bad. Like I haven't seen the latest X-Men movie, but I hear that was really good. So yeah, I really like that like next year especially is going to be filled with so many good movies. Obviously capped off by Star Wars.
Oh well, and speaking of comic books, I started reading the Fables series just recently.
Off the Wolf Among Us, right?
Yeah. I read,
How is that?
It's pretty awesome so far. I've only read like the first the big issue, like the big graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's like a compilation of the first like 5 months or whatever.
Yeah. Now, when you read that, do you read them in the voices? Do you hear the voices in your head from the game?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, exactly.
No,
Because
that's when she's not reading. She hears voices.
And they're all from The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, because the funny thing was right, like I told you guys that I like this series. It's really obscure. It's called Legend of the Seeker, and it had 2 seasons or whatever, and I really liked it. And I watched that before I realized that it was made off of a book series, the Sword of Truth series, right? So I downloaded the audiobooks, which they do so I could listen to it at work or whatever. And whenever they would do that, I'd always like do the voices in my head to that from the show. So I always, it's like whenever you see Morgan Freeman and like a quote or something underneath of it, you always say it in his voice. You know what I mean?
Time.
It's like, it's that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, like, The Wolf Among Us, if I were to read that series, I would probably read it, especially Big B Wolf, because he had such a distinct kind of voice. And who knew that The Little Mermaid was in there? I swear to God, I went back and played that again. I had no clue that was The Little Mermaid.
What?
How? Maybe it's because I haven't seen that movie in, like, forever. But how the hell are you supposed to know that that's The Little Mermaid? What was the clue?
Well,
because she's little and she's a mermaid.
She's not a mermaid.
I knew that she was the Little Mermaid because when you very first see her, before you even know her name, she's like on the stripper pole and she's like waving her legs like a tail, and I was like, oh, that's the Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. See, you caught that. I didn't.
And then they were like, oh, this is Narissa, and I'm like, who the fuck's Narissa? That's Ariel. Is Ariel copyrighted? Like.
It must be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out the Little Mermaid was a stripper who smoked cigarettes. So who knew? You know what I mean? Well, the funny thing is right, the Disney characters like Beauty and the Beast and stuff, those aren't copyright. You can't copyright those. They're public domain. Same thing with like The Wizard of Oz. Like you can't straight out do a version of one of them, like the original one, but you can still do the public domain ones. That's how they did that Oz movie with Mila Kunis and those. And yeah. So I mean that's how you can get away with that. Same thing with King Kong. Like the copyright expires, so you could do it's public domain now. You can pretty much do what you want with that. So it's interesting, but I didn't even know that. Like I really like that series though. Like I'm into I think I just did the 5th episode of The Walking Dead season 2, and that was like pretty epic. Like you play as a girl in that one. In the first one you play, well, don't really want to give away too much spoil. You play as Lee Everett, and then by the end of that, he finds this little girl, and she's lost her parents or whatever, and she kind of sidekicks you the whole season of that, and then bad stuff happens, and then she's the main character in the 2nd season, which I thought was cool because she's grown up a little bit. She's kind of a badass, and like some of the choices and stuff. So if you're gonna play, if you really like The Wolf Among Us, you'd probably like the Walking Dead series by them too. It's really good.
I should play that. Oh my gosh, I can't sing enough praises about The Wolf Among Us. It was so good.
That was really, really good. I loved it, and I'm not really into one of those the QTEs and stuff. I don't really like those type of games for the most part, but the story was so good in that, and they do a real good job tying that all together. Like,
Yeah.
I thought, man, this is really, and they're actually making a Game of Thrones one, and a Borderlands one.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, that they're a busy group, you know. That it's good
Yeah.
to see independent developer, I guess, get so much work thrown their way. You know, they do good work. You know, I like
So
their
good.
stuff. In closing, do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
No.
I don't think so.
No? Anything big going on, Kinsey? You know, you got some retro stuff or whatever, some beer you want to shout out?
Well, I guess there's two things, but they're really quick.
Okay.
One, Metal Jesus hit 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I seen his thing. Did you do? Were you part of the video, answering questions or whatever? Because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. And the
And
other
you're gonna be
thing,
doing some kind of Star Wars thing with him, right?
some kind of Star Wars thing.
Because he tweeted out that picture where you look like an Ewok.
And the only other thing I can really think of is that PAX Prime's coming up in Seattle.
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
It's a
That is
little
true.
ways out, but
Yeah.
end of the month.
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. I know Gamescom is next on the 12th, so we're closing on that. That's like Europe's E3. So I think that's good. We might get some interesting announcements and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and Tokyo Game Show is next month.
TGS. So those are the TGS, E3, and Gamescom are the big three shows or whatever. If you're a gamer, I mean, those are the big ones. So I think that's interesting. So what about you? Worry anything big going on?
Not in terms of games. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing spectacular.
Yeah, nothing spectacular. Yeah, and your channel's still closed down. Although people still message me, when's WorryWart gonna get some more stuff on his channel? So you're never gonna come out of retirement.
Never.
Never. Okay. The only place you can catch WorryWart is right here.
Yeah.
It's right here.
YouTube is not for me. YouTube is not for me.
Yeah, you gotta have some thick skin, man. I'm not gonna lie, like especially nowadays, you gotta have some thick ass skin. As for me, man, I'm closing in on 6,000 subs. I'm almost there, so I mean that's pretty good. I'm no Metal Jesus, but you know, hey, you know what I mean. That dude puts out some quality content. I'm not gonna lie. I like his and he's got a lot of friends. You know, like he's good friends with you know, Gamester 81 and all those people. You know what I mean. So I'm you know, it's hard. You know, that's a really cool group to be friends with, you know, and even like Alpha Omega Sin and all those guys, you know, those guys are all people that I watch all their stuff, you know, so I think that's cool. You know, I really like that. But other than that, nothing much is going on, but I want to thank you guys for making time to do the podcast. I know you guys both have busy schedules and stuff, so I really appreciate it coming together and having a good time. I really appreciate it, guys. So with that, we bid you guys farewell, and we'll see you hopefully next week or sometime soon, man. I'll let you guys know. Later.